Hello, patrons. Valerie Isan here. After quite a long sabbatical, wasn't a real sabbatical. It was just not getting these monthly connections videos out, and I do apologize for that. And I've thought long and hard about not continuing the monthly videos. I feel like I haven't been providing enough value for my patrons because you are giving me money. So I want to make it worth your while. So I've rethought the patron benefits tiers, and I think this is what I've come up with. So let me know what you think. I hope that it is enough value for what you're spending, what you're donating. I don't know what level you're at, if you're at the dollar level or the $5 level or whatever. So I'm going to be going into my Patreon page and changing and updating these benefits, but I wanted to, give you the first word on it, obviously, because you're already patrons. So in my journaling session this morning, this is what I came up with. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So I think the $1 donators, I want to be able to make announcements for you on the podcast. So if you have a website you want me to promote, or if you have an event that you're running, or a workshop you're doing, or a class that you want folks to sign up for, or whatever announcement that you would like the general public to know about, you can email it to me and I will announce it on the podcast. If I happen to be sending out a newsletter to my list at the same time, and what you're announcing is relevant to my audience, I might just slip that into my newsletter as well. Full disclosure, I don't send out newsletters very often, and of course, it's subjective to my opinion of what's relevant to my audience. But I definitely, relevant or not to the audience, will announce it on the podcast for you at the $1 level. Also, I should say that every patron level, every tier, will be entered into a monthly drawing for a free action plan for one project. So if you want to write a series, I'll come up with an action plan in little baby steps for completing that series. Or if you want to put an addition onto your house, I'll come up with an action plan of all the steps that you would need to go through, to hire somebody or to research or whatever. So I will come up with that action plan. And then on the other side of that, after the action plan is written, then we would have a 20-minute video conference call that would go through the list and make sure that you understood all the steps, or make sure that I wasn't forgetting something. And I would love, with your permission, to record that and put it on the podcast as a case study. But you can get the action plan even if you decide not to be recorded. So that's going to be for everyone. I'll just do a drawing for all patrons, and I'll do that once a month. So back to the tiers. The $5 patrons, of course, would get all and any ebooks that I ever publish. And I want to do something else for those $5 patrons, and I don't know what that is. So that's where I really want your help. And if there is something that you think that I could provide you at the $5 level on a monthly basis, that would be great. If I need suggestions. The $10 patrons, I'm going to have weekly accountability check-ins via email. So I'll email you and check in with you and see how you're doing on your goals, and if you're having any challenges. And so it'll just be like an accountability meeting, but we'll do it via email. The $15 patrons would be a monthly 20-minute video Zoom call. I guess I want to call these like should I calls. So I want it to be a specific, like, if you're having trouble deciding whether or not you should do something, should I do this? Should I do that? And we can just do a quick 20-minute like check-in call like that. And that would be for the $15 patrons. Plus, they would be getting any paperbacks that I ever publish. The $25 a month tier is going to be a critique. So I will critique your writing. If it's a query or a book description, a short story, an essay, or 10 pages of some larger work. And I'll do that on a monthly basis. So anytime, every month, if you've got something you want me to critique, I'll do that for you. And then the $50 a month level will get a free coaching call every month. And those are hour-long calls. So that's actually really inexpensive coaching because normally I charge $75 an hour for coaching or consultation. So patrons would get it for $50. So those are the new tier benefits. And if you've got any other suggestions for the Patreon benefits tiers, I want it to be of value to you, whether you're a writer or an entrepreneur or just a friend of mine that's supporting me, which I totally love too. But I do want it to make it worth your while. And I feel like I've really dropped the ball on that, and I do apologize, and I want to make it better. So $1 gets to do announcements on the podcast. $5 gets all my ebooks and something else. I want to do it, but I couldn't come up with something. So if there's something that you can think of, please suggest it, and I'll add that to the $5 patron benefits. $10 gets the weekly accountability check-in via email. $15 patrons get the Should I video calls once a month, 20 minutes long. And $25 patrons get a monthly critique on a short story or an essay or query or book description or 10 pages of a larger piece. And $50 patrons get a free coaching call every month. So let me know what you think about this. And conversely, if you really, really, really want these monthly connections videos that haven't been coming all that often, then, feel free to say that too. So I'm really looking for some feedback on these ideas, and I would really love to hear your suggestions. So be well, happy February, and I'll see you later.